Stage 10. The return to Lochbow seen Derek McGarty and Chris Patterson fastest once again. The reigning Northern Ireland champion is still on course to take the lead in the Tarmac Championship with over a minute in hand. Andrew Nesbitt was carving his way back up the leaderboard but still couldn't chip at Derek's lead. The McKinstry Impreza is second fastest in Lochbow 2, moving up into second place. The leaderboard underwent a reshuffle in the 10th stage, mostly due to Eugene Donnelly. The EnviroCare car was on a mission, but clipping a bank he rolls the Subaru and retires on day 2, promoting Austin up to 4th. The Emo-sponsored Impreza ascends into the top 4 once again, but is over 20 seconds behind Eamon Boland, who drops from his perch in the top 2. Eamon comes under pressure from Andrew Nesbitt on this stage, and making way for the Cuisine de France car, slips back into 3rd place. And closing on the NVD car, Morris Gas is a second quicker than Eamon on the 8.5 mile test, moving up into 5th place. With Morris pulling further ahead, Tim McNulty and Anthony Nestor begin to up the pace in their S7 and are now in the top 6. And are just in front of Roy White. The top car, Group N, continues to lead the way in the 3rd stage of the day, extending their lead to 17 seconds. Dickie Kern is now in 2nd place. He loses time in Lochbow 2, costing him over 10 seconds, but hangs on to 2nd and 8th overall by a slender margin. A very slender margin. 0.3 seconds is all it is between Sean Gallagher and 8th overall, as the 3rd place Group N driver is 3rd quickest on Stage 10. But fastest Group N car on the stage is Seamus Leonard. The Subaru is pushing hard, taking a second from Roy White to move up into the overall top 10. In the 2-wheel drive stakes, Paul Barrett continues to entertain and takes the lead at Class 11 after the 2nd Lochbow test, now just shy of the overall top 20. Gary Jennings indulges in a little spectating in day 2 and is among those to witness Derek McGarty extend his lead even further in stage 11. Could this be his time at the top? He's certainly on course by 1 minute and 15 seconds. Andrew Nesbitt has taken many a lead off Derek in recent years, but unable to do it at the halfway point in day 2. The Armagh driver is able to take 2nd place behind Derek, keeping Austin McKeel in 4th. The 3rd spot in the podium is where he wants to be, but first he will have to overcome a tricky obstacle ahead. In the shape of Eamon Boland, 3rd quickest in this stage, Eamon defends his 3rd place over Austin, extending their lead over the McKeel Subaru, who in turn stays ahead of this blue Subaru. Morris returns to Arigna after the fraught run in stage 9, but not as hairy on this occasion. The Pt4 Impreza stays 5th. Sean Gallagher takes a different approach. Attacking the stage, the Evo 7 shoots up into 8th place and into the top 2 in Group N, which demotes the similar car of Dickie Kern back into 3rd place in the hotly contested Group N battle. His Mitsubishi loses time in this stage, demoting them to 9th overall. But on the move up the leaderboard, Cathal Rogers is 16th overall in stage 11, extending his lead as top 2-wheel drive and dominating Class 12. We're halfway through the event and Derek McGarty holds his lead at the top. Andrew Nesbitt is over a minute behind, but Derek lost some of his lead in stage 12, losing time in Owen Moore River. Setting 5th fastest, they maintain the rally lead, which is now down to just over a minute. As Andrew is closing in once again, 2nd fastest in stage 12, he takes 12 seconds from Derek, but still has a long way to go to make up the remaining minute. Also making up time, Austin McKeel is fastest on the stage, a second up on Nesbitt, homing in on 3rd place, now less than 20 seconds off the top 3, which began to concern Eamon Boland. Austin takes an 8-second chunk from his advantage on this stage, closing the gap on the 3rd place driver. Meanwhile, Morris Gas is remaining consistent, with a secure place in the top 5 after stage 12, with over 2 minutes in hand over Group N leader Roy White. 3rd in Group N, Dickie Kern was fighting back. 2nd in Group N behind Sean Gallagher on the stage. They take time from Roy White, but can't close on that 2nd place. Just outside the top 6 in Group N, Michael Curran and Desi Wilson continue to close on the overall top 10, with their sights set on the top 6 place on the Group N leaderboard. Paul Barrett continues to lead Class 11 over Reggie Britton. 4.5 seconds off Michael Curran on the stage, the G3 makes it into the top 20. But disaster struck for Tim McNulty as the S7 struck the scenery. The disagreement came off worse for the Subaru as they limped through the stage to make it to service, losing over 15 minutes. With the car in the time control, the Harper mechanics study the damage from a distance to plan a course of action for repairs. Radiator damage is the major concern, but with a burst pipe robbing it of water, the car is in a bad way. They replace the damaged components, but discovering an underlying problem in the bruised Impreza, Tim must retire here at service. Stage 13, Yellow Rivers. Andrew Nesbitt continues to close on the rally lead, but with a lot of time to regain, the Armagh man has his work cut out to catch the rally leader, who is beginning to settle at the top. Derek is third fastest in stage 13 in Yellow Rivers, and despite conceding 7 seconds to Andrew, is comfortable in the lead. Not comfortable in their position, Austin McHale and Brian Murphy were pushing hard, pushing maybe too hard. They are unlucky on stage number 13. That freaky coincidence played into the hands of Eamon Boland, stretching his advantage by a further 6 seconds in this stage, keeps him a firm third. Behind that battle, Morris Gass and Jeffrey Orr at 5th place all to themselves. The Pt4 Impreza remains at a consistent pace in stage 13, at which Dickie Curran isn't. The Evo 7 is pushing hard, and third fastest in Group N in their first visit to Yellow Rivers. They can't close on the top 2. Behind him, Raymond Johnson is on the up. The JNC Windows Evo 6 moves up to 4th in Group N and into 9th overall. Glenn Jones would be just behind, but ruining a 40-second penalty from the first stage of the day, the Welshman equals Dickie Curran in the stage to close in the top 10. And also in ascendancy, Michael Curran was upping the pace. Close behind Glenn Jones, the Evo 6 is 12th overall, moving up into the top 6 in Group N. In Class 11, Reggie Britton fights back to catch Paul Barrett. The Mark II hits trouble in the stage though, losing 20 seconds to the G3, dropping out of the overall top 20. But dropping off the leaderboard altogether, Seamus Leonard and Paul McLaughlin are forced to retire in stage 13, with their problems proving terminal. Stage 15 would be the final stage of the day. With stage 14 cancelled, Reggie Britton had one more stage to catch Paul Barrett for the lead of Class 11, but second fastest in Class once again, Paul defends his lead over the Mark II, keeping it in second place. Paul remains second place two-wheel drive car after the second day. Cathal Rogers leads that category as the Rogers Fencing G3 is only 1/10 of a second adrift of Paul Barrett on the stage, continuing the battle of the escorts. From escorts to Evos, as Michael Curran continues his steady drive in Group N. His Evo 6 retains 12th overall and 6th in Group N, but aims higher. Fighting him off in the final stage of the day, Aaron McHale extends his advantage over Michael, making it into the overall top 10, 5th in Group N. Applying pressure in stage 13, Raymond Johnson was now under it, but responding in stage 14, he is 2 seconds quicker than Aaron to defend 9th. Dickie Curran remains in the top 3 of Group N with another third fastest time, securing 8th overall at the end of day 2. Sean Gallagher remains at a consistent pace, fastest once again in Group N. The second placed Evo 7 closes further on the Group N lead, but can't quite catch Roy White, who retains the lead after 2 days of competition. The FESP car is cruising at the end of day 2 with a 40-second Group N lead and is 6th overall.